So, hey, let's get to the weather. Temperatures today are mostly into the 60s. Hope you're having a great day. I know it's July. We're past the 5th. Where is the sunshine? Well, we have it for you on Friday. With all the 60s in place, we will manage 70s tomorrow. The big winner for rainfall today, 0.8 of an inch of rain for Quileute. Boy, we need it. Here's the reason why. I know you've heard that about drought. The reason being is that rainfall totals from January 1st up to today, normal. When you average everything out over the history, CTAC has, the top number I've got here is the number that we have received since January 1st. We're down about 4 inches or so from where we should be up to this date. Olympia, almost 11 inches. The coastal communities, almost 20 inches. Over to Hoquiam, about 14.5 inches behind. That's why we've got these drought conditions. The U.S. Drought Monitor map is updated every Thursday, so we'll get the new map tomorrow. It comes from NOAA, but notice a good portion of western Washington is in the severe category. Of course, we know the threat for wildfires, and that's why we watch this closely for you and give you the updates as they come in. Rain coming in right now in Long Beach. That's a welcome sight. You've got some clouds, a few sun breaks as we look out toward Paulsbo, and that's basically the story for a lot of places right now. Painfield, Everett, yeah, a lot of cloud cover here. The system is starting to make its way over to the east. Lots of lightning strikes up to the north over through BC as well, but I don't think we're going to see much in the way of thunderstorms here. There's a slight chance we could see one or two, but most of the energy unsettled is up to the north. As we look down to the south, you got a few scattered showers. Some of it will be a brief heavy downpour. It won't last too long, and then you'll be back in the clouds. We'll get some cloudy days tomorrow, or the cloudy start to the day tomorrow. Discovery Bay, Sequim, Port Angeles, you're getting some of the rain coming off the Olympics as well. And then you've got some of the rain clearing out of the north here. Now, Futurecast does show a few scattered showers this evening. As we fast forward to midnight, it starts to wind down. Morning commute, isolated, not a whole lot. We'll have a couple of lingering showers is what we'll call them tomorrow. This is for the commute home, and we're seeing a few more peaks of sunshine, which will give us more time to get up into the 70s. Friday morning, mostly cloudy. A few lingering showers on Friday by 12 o'clock, and then by the evening hours, this all starts to clear out. Rainfall totals as we go through the next couple of days, maybe 1/10 of an inch of rain. After that, Friday looks fantastic. That's when we've got the sunshine coming back at us. So we'll go for 75 tomorrow, 78 on Friday, staying with some sunshine on Saturday. Angela and Mark will start to see the showers come back on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of next week.
Okay.